Okay, first thing to remember is this is just an electronic signing system. It is not a true copy. It is not a medication chart as such. You still have to check your charts, okay? Because somebody could have come in last night and charted a new medication that's not on there yet, okay? This is not a true copy. It's just an electronic signing system, okay? And unless the pharmacy have updated it, it doesn't exist. Okay, so the first thing you'll see is our dose rounds. We've got yesterday's, today, and we've got tomorrow, okay? So if you want to see tomorrow at 7 o'clock, because you've never done a 7 o'clock start, you can go in and have a look, certainly. But what you 100% cannot do is administer, okay? Because that round is not open. Okay, I will show you how you can tell. So we'll go back to today. Okay, so you can see this round is red with white writing and there's no timer on it at all. They're all missed signatures. Okay, it's red, we try to avoid that. It could be the one missed signature, it could be one medication you forgot to tick off and it'll be in here. Okay, and it'll be red. This one here that says round extended, that's just last timer. I haven't got one here with your first timer on it because our demo site also runs in real time like your site does, okay? But this one still has 45 minutes to administer the medication, okay? These blue ones with the white writing, those are rounds that are open. Okay, and these white ones with black writing, they are not open yet. You can't administer from. Our rounds close. Some systems remain open, so you can sit there and just tick you've administered whenever you want. But ours closes, and the reason that it closes is if the commission come in and they run a report to see, you know, who's been administered what at what time, and you've decided, you know, so many things have gone wrong in your shift, but you sat down at 11:30 and ticked off Mr. Smith's paracetamol. But then the afternoon RN thinks, so she'll come in early and tick off all her meds, just in case something happens. And that's at 1 o'clock. So Mr. Smith's had Panadol 11:30 and at 1 o'clock, and that's too close together, and that's big trouble for you guys. So that's why our medication round's closed, to stop that, okay? I'm not sure of the times that they open and close, but the way you can tell, you've got your medication round is there, so that's a 12 o'clock round. It opens at 11 and it closes at 4. Yours won't, okay? This is a demo site, it's really generous. Yours, it might be opening at 11 and closing at 1, okay? It depends on how big that round is, okay? I didn't choose those times, your managers did, so blame them.
It is quite long at the beginning, because everyone is not familiar with the system. You need to take your time. But later on, once everyone has a good practice, then we can close it and make it a bit smaller.
Yeah. Eventually, when you get used to this system, it's actually going to be a lot quicker than signing. Okay. So you'll see here main dose. So that's your breakfast, lunch, dinner, bedtime. Over here is your special dose. So they are medications that a doctor wants given at a specific time. And it's usually medicines like Parkinson's. Okay, so you will see tomorrow, you could have 2 or 3 rounds open at the same time. Okay, but if you go into this one, you'll see there's only 1 resident. Okay, and it will just be 1 medication, 2 medications in here. So over this side, you don't get a lot of residents at all. It's just 1 or 2. But in the main dose, you'll have all for your section, okay? So to administer medication, so we got, you can filter through. So if AINs are administering and you only want to start with your pact, you can filter through all the residents who only have pact. Okay, if you want to just do non-pact first, the RNs want to do insulin, they can click insulin, S8s or variables. Okay. So I like this man. I don't know why I like this man. So to administer medication for an AIN, okay, for packed medication and only packed medication you need to count, okay. So over here we have, firstly you'll notice the demographics, okay. The photo will have the date when the photo was taken with the room number. Check that room number is correct. Okay, the last go live I did last week, there were a couple of room numbers that were incorrect. You've got your complex medication alerts, allergies, considerations. So do they need crush medication? Do they need that medication in jam? Do they like milk to swallow their medication? That will all be there. And then of course their diagnosis. It usually will run, you don't worry about this, you won't have it because you're not using Best Doctor. Okay, it usually goes in order of packed, non-packed, insulins, warfarins, Schedule 8s. It goes in some form of order, but I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a long day. So your medication, you don't know what that is, you want to learn a bit more about it, click on the tablet itself. Okay, if it comes up like this, just choose one of them, and that's your MIMS, okay? That's for both RNs and AINs. So that's how you can find your MIMS, just click on the tablet. If you want to know the doctor's instructions, click on the medicine, and it says there, take 1 tablet. You want to know when it started, click that arrow, it tells you when it started, and if it had an end date, it would be there. If it was a short course, it would have an end date. Okay, and we all know our routes of administration, yeah? So we know that the red circle with the asterisk is do not crush.
Oh.
If you didn't know, just click on the, it'll tell you. Okay, so we got our dosage. So with our tablets, our dosage will always be 1.00 or 2.00. If it's 2.5, that's 2.5. Yeah. So when we're counting our medication, how much is here? How many tablets are we going to give this resident?
5.
Okay, 5. That's all you do for packed. But, excuse me, he really doesn't have anything else an AIN can administer. So we've got our number there. We press confirm, okay, and you get sent this box. This is your second check, okay? So you should have already checked your medication chart, checked the name of the medications on the sachet. So no, you haven't used sachets before, but all the medications that are inside that sachet will be written there. Okay, so then you go to the room and you go to your resident. Do they take that medication? Let's just say he did. We'll press swallowed that medication, press confirm. You can see he's still there in that round. That's because he's still got medication that has to be given. Okay, now you've given all of this, you actually can't go in and change any of that now. But an RN needs to do the rest, okay? So you've done your bit, you can move on to the next person, okay? So non-packed. With this non-packed, yep.
There's no pack medicine. Some we given half tablet. So for example 5.5.
No.
No.
1. Every half a tablet is 1.
1.
So if the dosage was 2.5, you write a 3. If it's 2.25, so it's 2.25 tablets, it's 3. Okay, I was going to get to that, but yes, no, very smart. A smart person this morning too. So yes, every piece of a tablet in that sachet is 1. Okay. For our non-packed, do you give non-packed here, or it just depends on what it is? Yeah. So let's say you're allowed to give this one and this one. And the reason you count the sachet, but you can administer non-packed, is that the New South Wales state law states that AINs do not have to identify a medication. Okay? So with non-packed, it's in an original packaging with the name of that medication separate from everything else, with the resident's name and the dosage and everything. So with a sachet, it may have a generic name, may have a different name completely. You're not meant to know what that is, even though you probably do. I did meds for 15 years in aged care. I know what most of them are, but even I'm not meant to know what they are. Okay, so I will show you what to do if they refuse one. So we can give these, but we can't give that one. But it's going to let you tick it. If it's a medicine that you know that you're not supposed to give, don't touch the button, because this is where a lot of your incidents will come. Because you're administering medication you know you're not supposed to. Okay, we can't turn it off for everybody. So if you're not allowed to give non-packed antibiotics, don't touch the non-packed antibiotic button. Okay, if you're not allowed to give this, don't tick it. If you do, untick it. Okay? Don't administer, just because you can touch it doesn't mean you can give it. Follow your policies and procedures. Okay? So that looks good. Yep. You've gone away.
But how do they know they can't touch it?
They know what they can give now. It's
S8
exactly the same
antibiotics.
Yeah.
You know, Epilim, can they give Epilim?
If it,
Epilim is non-packed too.
Yes, yes, they
You
can.
know,
Can they?
Regular.
yeah.
Regular non-pack, yes.
if it's
So
what
only
they're allowed to
antibiotic,
give
is it
now,
SA and
Injection.
antibiotic?
not S8s. No, your S8s will be in your S8 cupboard. They've got no access to it.
This morning got one resident aspirin, morning dose also is non-packet.
Yep. Is it?
Yeah,
Are you allowed to give it normally? If you didn't give it today, you can't give it tomorrow.
This one is regular every morning.
Yep.
Yes.
Do you normally give it in the morning?
Normally,
Which medication?
aspirin.
Aspirin, yes, you can give it. Why you can't?
Yeah, but this morning is separate. Best dose is
Ah.
separate.
Okay, yeah.
They
Some
use it
medication
calm
will
on.
be,
Non-packet.
yeah.
Non-packet we cannot give, right?
No. You cannot give injection S8
That's it.
antibiotics.
Antibiotics.
What you are giving at the moment from the non-packed, it will be the same in the future.
Yeah, so some medications you'll notice that used to be packed won't be packed now. And some medications that weren't packed before will be packed. Just depends on the robot and the canister and the program they're using. Okay, so that's all on the pharmacy side. You can always ask. It may be because they have a preferred brand and that brand can't be packed.
Some of the
Now.
reason that it's not packed could be that the medication is cytotoxic. If they put it in the machine and the robot touch it, then it contaminates all other medication.
Yep.
So a lot of packed medication previously in the website